What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Action Comics issue 1053. This is part of Dawn of DC, the year-long initiative bringing us new characters and new titles. But when it comes to Action Comics, we have seen the fight between Superman and Metallo. Metallo finding himself having a new body. This was all because of Lex Luthor. And Metallo's body, it has been changing. It has been evolving in unexpected ways, in nightmarish ways. And the voice that is his operating system, it has been changing too, testing the limits of his sanity. But with Metallo on the warpath to take out the entire Superman family, will Kal-El be able to stop him before it is too late? Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we pick up with this issue, we are picking up with John Henry Irons. We are getting some dialogue about John Henry creating Steelworks Institute. Their school is going to serve a very unique purpose, a place where scholars from different star systems still gathered to share knowledge. What Steelworks Tower will be for their generation, Steelworks Institute will be for the next. This is where we see a bunch of Metallo-like individuals begin to attack John Henry, calling him a traitor, calling him a collaborator, an alien lover, that humanity is at war, and he is a war criminal. As he begins to get attacked, this is where we see the rest of the Superman family come in to aid him. As Superman looks at all these individuals, saying that you poor devils, look what Metallo has done to you. But Metallo can speak and see through each and every one of them. Superman trying to let him know that you have as much as killed these individuals. These poor men are now pretty much dead because of what you have done. Metallo going on about how Superman is the cause to all of this, and that he just wants his sister back. Superman having no idea what he is talking about. Metallo is on the warpath saying that he knows that Superman has hid his sister, that she has told him so. And so if Superman is going to take his family, Metallo is going to take Superman's family. This is where we see Kara just being absolutely devastated by kryptonite. The kryptonite in her bloodstream, it is everywhere. She is not in a good state right now. Superman also tells Kenan that we need to get all of these people, the ones that were taken over by Metallo. The kryptonite, the only thing keeping him breathing. But as long as he is breathing, they are going to keep it that way. And many of the Super family, they're a little upset right now. They don't want to help these people. Now, of course, Superman does, but asking if this is what we do. Risk our lives for one such as him. Risk our lives for those that would try to kill us. And Superman says this is exactly what we do. Because if he dies, he can never make it right. If he dies, this will be the best he has ever been. This is the best he will ever be. By saving him, this is how we save the world. And so with that, Superman heads directly over to Stryker's Island. He heads directly for Lex Luthor. He knows that Metallo has something to do with Lex, believing that Lex did something to Metallo. And Lex freely gives up this information, saying that he sent Metallo to tear down Steelworks. This was before he reached out to him with an offer. That offer is the Super Core. But he tells Lex that this isn't about Steelworks. Today, Metallo came after my family and accused him of taking his sister. Now he is asking Lex, why would he ever think that? He goes on to say that Metallo is irrational, maybe even going insane. That Superman has reason to believe he is hearing voices that aren't there. Now Superman wants to know what is happening to him. This puts Lex Luthor at pause, asking Superman, what do you mean by hearing voices? Now Superman knows that this body was built by Lex. He is wondering what else is in that body with him. And Lex says that he's not ready to answer that just yet. But if he is hearing voices in that particular body, It is in their best interest to find Metallo sooner than later. This is where we pick up with Metallo. His body has been evolving. He is turning into some kind of monster, and his sister the whole time, she is guiding him through everything that he needs to do. And as he talks to his sister, Metallo says that he's having a hard time telling what is real anymore. He knows that this isn't the arm that he used to have. It's not what it used to look like. At this point, he's wondering, is he changing, and why? This is when his sister comes to him, letting him know that it is Warworld alchemy, that his body is adapting to the wounds. You can consider it scabbing over, but he needs the new body, so he must work faster. It doesn't take long, but Metallo starts to see that this isn't actually his sister, with the sister recognizing that the cat is out of the bag. It is time to show Metallo what is actually going on with his sister. This is where we see her completely naked, strung up, with pins all over her body, tubes coming out of her. She is in an absolute hell, telling Metallo that she is someplace worse than she has ever been, a place that she cannot see the sun. The only way she knows that she is still alive is by the continued pain that she is being put through. A place where monsters are born. When Metallo does ask, "Who are you?" the voice says back that that is not your concern. That if you want Tracy to stay pretty, with breath in her lungs and blood in her veins, then you must kill Superman and his whole family. If he does not, then his sister is going to be ripped to pieces. This is where we pick up with the Super family, the two adopted children from Warworld sitting here just watching the news and listening to the conversations the adults are having, with Jonathan being left behind to watch the kids. They start to have a little conversation, also coming up to John asking if he hates them. And at first, this throws him off. He's not really sure why this child would think that, but also says that he can hear through walls now, sometimes wondering if he is able to also hear thoughts. But after observing the world, they know that Jonathan is the true son to Superman, and that they are not, fearing that they may be offending Jonathan by being here and more or less being the children, the adoptive children, of Lois and Clark. This is where Jonathan picks up the puzzle box that had been made by Clark, saying that they're pretty amazing. They are never opened the same way twice. He was pretty rough on his when he was little. He didn't know it until he was older, but these boxes are traditional Kryptonian things. A lost art and extremely hard to make. His was probably the last one in the universe until Otho and him had decided to come. And Jonathan does admit that it's a little bit hard seeing his parents so happy having two kids with them. But none of this is their fault. No matter what, they are a family now. And having more of this in the world, that is never a bad thing. When they go to check on Otha, they see that she is gone. Not knowing where she went, she was very adamantly watching the news. Taking the opportunity, she'd head out. That is because there were anti-alien protests going on, protesting all the aliens from Warworld and everything else. Unable to stop herself, she went out there to teach them all a lesson. With giant explosions, people running in all directions, everyone wondering what is going on. We see that Otha, the super twin, is out here. She is the one causing the destruction, and that is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So when it comes to Metallo, this story, it definitely makes sense. Lex Luthor was messing with technology that he simply didn't understand. He put the orphan box into Metallo. It appears that there is still something very much alive with the orphan box, or connected to somebody else. More than likely somebody that Superman had faced while he was on Warworld. All of this is looking very identical to the Unmade of Warworld. More than likely, this is all being manipulated from behind the scenes. Lex Luthor was truly played as a fool, and that is something that rarely happens. But he was just messing with technology that he truly just didn't understand. And because of this has led to the evolution of Metallo, but it is so much more than that. And if this isn't a big enough problem in itself, we have Otha, one of the super twins, a prisoner on Warworld, trained to fight, trained to take out her enemies, a young girl once in chains, bred from the very earliest of ages to crush in your enemy's skulls. Something like this was inevitable. Even under the tutelage of Superman and all the super family, these kids are still very entwined with the life that they had led. The trauma, the experiences that they endured, those don't just go away after a couple weeks. And to top it all off, they are now on Earth. That means that they have the powers of Superman, and I have speculated that these powers that these Warworld individuals have may even surpass those of Superman. But what she sees is people hating her, protesting them, when they simply want a place to live. And so she resorts back to what she knows. And what she knows is violence. And it's gonna be very interesting to see how this is worked through, what Superman is going to do about this, and what this means for the Super Twins moving forward. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with Dawn of DC. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.